Hi, I'm Noffke, and today I'm going to talk to you about security-related policies and procedures. I have my Security Plus and I have my CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner, so I can talk to you about these things with pretty much comfort here. Okay. Okay. Everything that you do in your workplace, there's some sort of policy or procedure that governs it, whether it's going into your building or it's logging onto your email. Everything is governed by your network administrators. Your data loss prevention is every step that's taken from the time you make a file to saving it, to backing it up, and recovering it if need be. Least privilege. Least privilege is you getting as much privileges to the information you need, but not too much to where you're overstepping your bounds. An access creep is someone who takes that privilege and say they move jobs. They move to another department and they keep that privilege from the old job or the old department and they gain all those privileges. Or an access creep. So you gain access to systems that you don't need anymore. So you're having too much power is what that is. Separation of duties. So separation of duties is very important because you don't want your system administrators to be too powerful. So a regular account and a system administrator account need to be kept separate. So when they're doing day-to-day functions like surfing the internet, they can't inadvertently give access to someone who may hack them or they may authorize something that they don't know about. You want as small a group as possible for system administrators so there's not too many hands in the cookie jar and you can keep more accountability over who's responsible. And it's very important to separate the audit and logging from system administrators, because if they go in and do something that's fraudulent or harmful to the company, they could turn right around and delete it. So you want someone who's not a system administrator to be able to monitor them and account for them. Some policies are like the human resource policy or the HR. They help set standards for personnel, for adhering to outside standards such as HIPAA or other financial responsibilities. The hiring policy is anytime you bring an employee in that they're briefed, they sign any sort of acceptable use policies or a background check is done. That's part of the hiring policy. Termination policy is probably more important, so when an individual is let go or they quit, you can suspend their account so they don't have access anymore. Or you take their information off of their computer and analyze it to see if they were doing anything fraudulent so they can be accounted for better after they leave. And the need to know is giving a person just enough access to information and then not too much, because if they have too much then they can give that information to someone else when they really never needed it to begin with. Okay, some more policies and procedures are privilege management. It's giving a person information to systems or to resources, and it needs to be tightly adhered to or policed up by network administrators. And then the next two kind of go into the same. It's group-based management. It's putting someone into a group so it can be easily managed from a centralized location. So one person or a shop is not having to deal with 1,000 people, but putting those people into groups. So you can manage the groups instead of the people, and then you just have to kind of maintain a structure on how you're going to adhere to those groups and give them the permissions that they need. Temporary access is someone who may be coming from the outside in, maybe testing your policies and procedures, or someone from another company coming in and utilizing your resources. You want to give them the temporary access and not the full access. All of these kind of go into the same thing for the account policy enforcement. It's taking an individual and giving them only so many times to log in, and if it's not right, you don't want someone who is not them being able to eventually log in from guessing their password. So maybe you lock it out so they have to come to the help desk or speak with an individual face to face. And pretty much I just kind of talked to you about some of the policies and procedures a business may have for an individual or a group of individuals. Thank you for your time.